We all know Illumination is a company I don't really like. They're a company that continues to put out mediocre movies that will make millions of dollars. And they'll continue to put out mediocre movies because people will still watch them. But we're finally facing the end of the Illumination era of entertainment. If you do not know what I refer to as the Illumination era of entertainment, it is basically an era of entertainment starting around 2010 when Despicable Me came out, and it still is going on to this day. Every animated movie company wants to make them movies basically like Illumination. It was what I call the Illumination art style. And no, I'm not thinking at the. And again, I'm talking about the characters looking basically like, oh, you know what's the design of characters, like characters from Despicable Me, and the Illumination movies. Again, Illumination made some okay movies and there's some bad movies, but overall, Illumination Entertainment is not a very good company. They put out really cheaply put up to movies, and they make hundreds of millions of dollars. So even if a movie doesn't really make that much money, for example, if it makes only $200 million, the movie would still be successful and profitable because the budget's only $80 million. Which is why people hate Illumination, because Illumination is one of those companies, as long as a movie is successful, they'll make a sequel. Okay, Despicable Me and Minions at this point will become the next Ice Age. And people will still watch them because they want to see, haha, Minions are funny, haha, Minions are funny. And I think the Minions and Despicable Me are the two companies that are ruining 3D animation. But of course, Pixar has come to save us all. What do you mean by Pixar? Well, coming this year is a movie called Lightyear, which completely, finally, this is the whole idea of, you know what? Let's make an animated movie only for kids, and only kids will enjoy. Oh, look. And I'm not surprised it's Pixar that's finally saying, you know what? Sick of this, our movies are not doing well. Nobody's the Turning Red just got 4 on Disney Plus. Onward bombed, Soul got 4 on Disney Plus, and Luca got 4 on Disney Plus. And what all 3 movies have in common, they try to replicate the Illumination style of movies. Trying to basically supplement any good story or meaningful story and try to throw in 100 jokes for kids to laugh at. That. And sometimes these animated comedies do work. Basically, the Mitchells vs. Machines and some other movies that come here and now. But most of them are not funny. The jokes don't land, and they're not funny. And basically, the Illumination art style and the Illumination style of movies, it just gets stale. The jokes and the Illumination style get stale. It's just not that good. And Illumination is not the only ones that are ruining animation. Meet Teen Titans Go! So Teen Titans Go is a cartoon that exists that started around 2013, and they're still making seasons to it because stupid kids watch it. Teen Titans Go is the single cartoon that ruined cartoons forever, or for a decade at least, because everyone's gonna be trying to replicate Teen Titans Go because it was successful. Basically like Despicable Me of movies. And compared to Despicable Me and Teen Titans Go, Despicable Me is like is like a godsend compared to Teen Titans Go, which is a complete disgrace to cartoons. I remember watching a lot of old cartoons on Cartoon Network, and a lot of shows came out before Teen Titans Go. Regular Show, Gumball, Adventure Time, they were all good. There were some questionable moments in, of course, those shows, but I realized the reason that they had all those more adult moments so adults can enjoy it as long as kids. Both kids and adults can both enjoy Regular Show, Gumball, and Adventure Time. You don't have to be a 5-year-old to only enjoy the show. But Teen Titans Go could have been like Tom and Jerry. Well, because I said, you know what, let's do a bunch of crazy stuff as the main heroes and save villains as well. Basically. But other than that, Teen Titans Go was just a pile of garbage. I watched like 5 or 6 episodes, and all I did was lose brain cells watching Teen Titans Go. And all of the good shows borrowing the piece of garbage called Steven Universe, the actual good shows, Gumball, Adventure Time, and Regular Show, not the most toxic fandom on Earth, Steven Universe, verse, basically, all Cartoon Network now is basically just, oh, Titans Go. That's basically it. And Cartoon Network, I think, is going to die a slow death because they're going to say, you know what? Always a successful thing is Teen Titans Go and shows like Teen Titans Go. So let's watch Teen Titans Go. And people don't like Teen Titans Go. But actually little kids do. So little kids will be forcing the parents to watch this garbage over and over and over again. Guess what? There's a season 8. Oh no. The show that's ruining cartoons is gaining yet another season. Because kids will continue watching Teen Titans Go. And that's the problem. Okay, kids will keep watching Teen Titans Go. And I think Cartoon Network is basically ruined by Teen Titans Go and other cartoon studios. Which is why most of us normal people started watching anime instead of cartoons. All of us normal people who are sick and tired of the constant beatdowns by, of course, Cartoon Network and all of these cartoon studios. And if you look for, and I guess there are like older cartoons, like, yes, I could try watching Rick and Morty. I never watched Rick and Morty before. But this point still stands. If you try to watch a cartoon just for the pure entertainment, for example, I don't think any cartoons could replicate the actual funny cartoons back in the day. Or the actual kick-ass action cartoons back in the day that everybody loved. But nobody gives a shit about modern cartoons. Which is why anime has becoming more popular. And which is why the Samurai Jack cartoon that they brought back, the Samurai Jack Revival, was so popular. Because they made it basically work like an anime and made it more serious. And I said, you know what, let's just make a bunch of jokes that, only a 5-year-old will find funny. A bunch of poop and party humor. And sometimes party humor is funny. I don't know why people say, oh, party humor is be-all, end-all for a cartoon or animated movie. Sometimes it can be funny, especially the Great Mighty Pooh from Conquer Bad Fur Day. But not every poop joke is not the Great Mighty Pooh from Conker's Bad Fur Day. Sometimes it's just not funny at all, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's basically 99% of modern cartoons humor. Or it's half a cartoon humor, but the other half of cartoon humor, modern cartoon humor, is of course trending jokes. Yep. Jokes that are basically about the most current trends. Oh, TikTok jokes. Oh, you twerking in the Powerpuff Girls reboot. Or jokes about random viral videos. Yeah, no one really gives a shit, basically. Okay, except for, and it will just make those shows more dated. Okay, and these cartoons will not be timeless like Tom and Jerry as well. I think another reason why cartoons have died is because there's so much restrictions they put into what you can put into cartoons now. Because back in the day, when they made the old Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, and all that stuff, there wasn't really much restriction. So basically, like Tom and Jerry, characters can go ham and haywire, and it was really funny. But now, if you watch, for example, compare modern Tom and Jerry to old Tom and Jerry. Old Tom and Jerry will always be better because old Tom and Jerry doesn't care about boundaries, doesn't care about offending people, doesn't care about if parents cry out, oh, why is everybody fighting? Because that's what Tom and Jerry was all about. It was all about Tom and Jerry fighting over some stupid thing, and it was funny. Or, the woman tells Tom to get rid of the mouse because the mouse is bad. Basically, Jerry. But cartoons now are too safe. Even if you tried to watch the new Powerpuff Girl reboot, basically, all they did was just try to be so safe with the Powerpuff Girls reboot. And that was basically it about modern cartoons. Will modern cartoons ever go back to the former glory? As long as they continue to try to play safe, try not to offend Twitter, try not to offend, it's just Hollywood in a nutshell. oh, we better not offend Twitter because Twitter will cancel us. Even though all we have to do is just stand up to them and say, Twitter, fuck you. We can make whatever we want. But no, but actually some people have gone up and said that, but like Dave Chappelle, but most of these people are just clowns and they say, but we might lose money. We might lose people watching it if two people on Twitter don't like it. It. And that's the problem with cartoons. They don't take risks anymore. Of course, adult cartoons do, but they're adult cartoons, okay? Like Family Guy and South Park. And actually, South Park still takes risks and doesn't give a shit what Twitter thinks. But most cartoons don't give a shit. And now let's go back to animated movies. What? When I first started out Lightyear trailer, I'm still amazed that they're actually making an animated movie that isn't based off Illumination's art style. It is trying to actually portray more realistic versions of said characters. Okay, for example, we have movies like Spider-Man No Way Home. No, not Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man the Spider-Verse. And Mitchell's vs. the Machines. And actual better movies coming out. And yes, I think we should still have animated movies for younger audiences. I think there should be a balance, like cartoons do. But if you look at anime, there's anime for older and younger audiences. I know people are like, why are you comparing cartoons to anime? They're total different genres. But if you look at anime, you have stuff like Attack on Titan and stuff like Demon Slayer, which a kid is not going to watch either of those. But you have anime that is definitely found more kid-friendly than Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is incredibly violent. Attack on Titan is incredibly violent. There's a lot of animes with actual nudity in them. But cartoons, they actually do have like adult cartoons or more, inappropriate stuff. Like M-rated cartoons, not, stuff on the hub. When I talk about adult cartoons, I'm talking about like Family Guy and South Park and Rick and Morty, not stuff on the hub. Don't think I'm talking. Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. But yeah, but it seems that they're finally making a movie that, hey, let's just take it seriously for once and not tell. And yes, there are going to be comedic relief characters, but again, even shows like Rick and Morty and stuff have and a lot of more violent TV shows have comedic relief. For example, Deadpool. Even a show like Deadpool, a movie like Deadpool, is very, 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 very not for kids, and it's very, very violent and very, 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 bloody, gore, and has a lot of swearing. But again, there's still comedic relief, which again, the main character is basically like that. But the problem with animation is that all animated movies are basically the same. I remember in my older videos, I said animated movies, all they do is sort of same five jokes and try to sell themselves off. It's the next funny movie, it's the next comedy, kids will laugh at it, haha. It seems that, and I think parents are just getting sick of seeing the same movies over and over and over again. Of course, they say, once my kids grow up, I will never not have to watch these movies anymore. But after you be berated with constant watching animated movies, and when kids finally grow up and move on to real movies, they provide, unlike older animated movies like Disney Renaissance movies, and of course, older Pixar movies and older DreamWorks, or even some of the more recent DreamWorks movies like How to Train Your Dragon, Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. A lot of those movies that people would consider classic animated movies, those movies are going to be remembered. No one's going to remember Storks, The Boss Baby, and a lot of these other animated movies that are going to become stale and forgotten. Yes, little kids will like them, but they'll eventually grow up, and maybe there might be some kids who might have some attachment to those movies, but not very many. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'll just rather watch this movie over The Boss Baby. I would rather watch Shrek over The Boss Baby. Or I would rather watch How to Train Your Dragon, which actually tells a complete story and 3 movies, and does not try to heavily rely on jokes throughout the movies. And tells actually a good and complete story throughout the 3 movies. Or there's Trolls, which just tries to tell jokes throughout the whole movie, and nobody gives a shit about it. Okay, and I think with Pixar is like the first company that's finally saying, you know what, let's just make animated movies that are just timeless, that will be considered timeless, and people of old, young, and new will all like it. Yeah, you'll have your good animated movies that are funny, of course. You should always have movies that are comedy, because of course, laughter is the best medicine. Sorry, Professor Poopy Pants, not Professor Poopy Pants, you're wrong. Wrong. People do need a laugh every now and then. But that's why we have movies like The Mitchells vs. the Machine and Captain Underpants. Was a two. If you want to watch two really funny animated movies that came out recently, those two movies are basically for you, because Captain Underpants is based off already a comedy parody of superheroes. So that movie was supposed to be funny anyways. And of course, you have The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which is a really funny movie as well, and also gets serious as well when it needs to be, like older Disney movies do. And of course, a lot of older Disney movies have this as well. They have this one really good comedic character that's well remembered, aka Mushu from Mulan, which is the reason why nobody liked the 2020 version of Mulan, because there's no Mushu. Because Mushu is one of the characters that made the movie great. So overall, are we seeing a return to timeless animated movies? Yes, for the 2010s, we do have timeless animated movies come out over the decade, but for every How to Train Your Dragon and Mitchells vs. the scenes, and every Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, you have your Minions, you have your Secret Life of Pets, movies that will not be considered timeless in the next decade, and will be considered forgettable movies. And really, when it comes to 2010s and movies, we're really wait to see already movies from the early part of the last decade that were considered timeless will continue to be considered timeless. But that's basically about this video. Goodbye.